Good morning and welcome to NATEFLIX, your home for movies on the radio. I'm your host, Nate Hensley. I write movie reviews and such for GoVideoGainesville.com. I also am co-owner of the local video store Go Video with my partner and co-host,
Barrett Daniel. I'm an aspiring composer and filmmaker in Gainesville, Florida. Brought my brother on the show once again today, Barrett Daniel.
That's my name. I'm a cynic, and I watch a lot of movies, and I have a lot to say.
Is that all you have to say?
Well, let's see.
The show is brought to you each week by Go Video, and let's start off by talking about some of the new releases that Go Video is going to be getting this Tuesday. First, probably the biggest movie, highly anticipated by a lot of kids, young and old, is Real Steel, a Rock'em Sock'em Robots, the motion picture type joint in which Hugh Jackman and his son coach a robot boxer in a to-the-death robot fighting league Futurama type story.
Well, it seems somewhat like a Rocky story here. We have Hugh Jackman, who's actually a robot boxing promoter or trainer, and he finds a robot that is the underdog but has a lot of heart. So he trains this robot and takes him on in the tournament. Now, the director, Sean Levy, is famous for Date Night, the Night at the Museum series, The Pink Panther, and Cheaper by the Dozen.
So he's got a really good track record, basically.
For the first three movies I named, at least his Steve Martin family comedies, he made the better of the two as far as the sequels go.
Right.
On those.
His track record is remarkably successful, although I wouldn't go so far as to say good.
I think that for me, it's not really the director here. I think that everyone that took part in this movie is to blame. I keep forgetting that this movie exists because I think that I'm trying to repress that, and then I keep getting reminded of it. I'm starting to finally realize that I don't like Hugh Jackman at all. And I think that just the fact that he was Wolverine in two really cool X-Men movies made me a little bit of a fan of his, but he just doesn't make good choices, and I haven't really seen any real acting chops out of this guy. Whatever the next Hugh Jackman movie is, I'm not going to be excited about it at all. But this concept is just, I can't, every time I watch the trailer, I just can't help but laugh.
Well, it seems to me like definitely a ripoff or extension of the Transformers series. We now have the technology to make really cool looking robots fight each other. We did 3 Transformers movies based on the toy line. And you know, a lot of people want a new Transformers. A lot of people think it's been done already, you know. So what other toys can we think of that have fighting robots that we can make movies out of?
Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Yeah. And, you know, this is just an attempt at getting people psyched about robots fighting, and people will just, you know, they'll watch it doesn't matter the plot. There's robots fighting, you know?
But that is what is giving this movie such good word of mouth, is in addition to an entire movie about robots punching each other in the head, you've got a father-son story. You know, it's going to pluck all the right heartstrings. And this is something that Sean Levy does in all the other movies that you mentioned. Mm-hmm. There's always this sweet, saccharine sort of, you know, faux soul to it. You know, like it has a message, and you know, and people like that sort of feel-goodery. Well, no matter how fake it is.
Well, maybe whoever made this movie is planning on doing a series of classic movie premises and just figuring out a way to integrate robots fighting into it. Like, you know, this would be the if Transformers is the Saving Private Ryan or Black Hawk Down of robots fighting movies, this is the Rocky. You know, it seems very much like an underdog sports movie. It was written by John Gaffins, who wrote Coach Carter, Hardball, and Summer Catch. He's pretty much only done heartfelt sports movies.
Right.
He's never worked with robots before, except if you consider Keanu Reeves in Hardball.
Zing. All right, the other big release on DVD and Blu-ray this week is the comedy drama 50-50 with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Seth Rogen.
This movie is based on a true story. The screenwriter Will Reiser is a good friend of Seth Rogen and his writing partner Evan Goldberg, and he eventually, he figures out he has a very rare form of cancer, and he has about a 50-50 chance.
Have you guys seen this one yet?
I saw this one. I did like it a lot. Like many other films that I liked a lot this year, it didn't excite me to the point where, I'm going to remember about this movie 2 years from now, but I definitely enjoyed it while I was watching it.
I saw it recently, and it was a fun little movie about terminal cancer. And what was interesting is Seth Rogen plays some kind of a pseudo himself in this film, which is interesting because he's just like every other character I've seen him play. And so, but if you like that kind of thing, you're gonna get yourself your Seth Rogen kicks and in their banter. And Gordon-Levitt, of course, does a very good job of maintaining the transition from healthy to sick. You get the shaved head, and there's plenty of puking. And so it's really kind of a cookie cutter story, but I think that it's likable enough to really be watchable and something that I would recommend.
I've only seen 50% of it, so I can't comment.
It's got a great supporting cast as well. It's got an Oscar winner Angelica Hudson, Bryce Dallas Howard, Anna Kendrick. I think this movie definitely deserved the nominations that it got. Joseph Gordon-Levitt was nominated for Best Lead Actor in a Comedy Role. I'm always excited to see Anna Kendrick since Up in the Air. This is the second Best Picture nominated movie that Bryce Dallas Howard was in this year. She was also in The Help.
Anna Kendrick was equally annoying in this movie is in Up in the Air, but I mean that in a good way. Like, she was really good at being awkward and just like she doesn't belong. But I think that's. Yeah. I hope to see her branch out a little bit more, because I think that she's got more guns than starting to get typecast as the annoying girl that's kind of fresh on her feet. But
the highlight of the movie for me was definitely Seth Rogen, which is unusual because he's been getting on my nerves a lot lately. But I think what I realized when I was watching this movie is one of the reasons why I like him so much more than I have is because this is the first side role that he's had in a long time. Ever since Knocked Up, every movie that he's been a main character or a very short cameo.
I like Seth Rogen. I've never bought him as a leading man. He's a great, strong second. Mm-hmm. So 50-50 really plays to his strengths and allows him to be funny and good and sympathetic. He's good in this movie.
The last time he was my favorite character in one of his movies was 40-Year-Old Virgin, which he was not a leading man.
This is something I don't talk about a lot, but I'm actually a huge fan of Observe and Report. I think that's one of his funniest movies.
I have to say that I think that's the one exception, because I completely agree, and I think it's one of those overlooked comedies because Paul Blart came out at the same time and people just didn't want to see another mall cop movie. But I think that's an exception, that if he's going to be a leading man, he's got to play something like that where he doesn't have to be the run-of-the-mill Seth Rogen character.
I think you can call that movie Paul Blart for adults. And if you're an adult and you think you wouldn't like Paul Blart, then come to Go Video and rent Observe and Report. It's very good. The movie 50-50 is directed by Jonathan Levine. He did one other movie I really liked called The Whackness. It stars Josh Peck and Olivia Thirlby and Ben Kingsley, who I think should have been nominated for Best Supporting Role in this movie. Check that one out at Go Video as well. The movies we have coming to theaters this week begins with a movie called The Gray, starring Liam Neeson and Dilmont Mulroney.
And this is, of all the releases at the theater this week, this is the one I'm most interested in.
I'm excited to see Liam Neeson not being an assassin.
Well, this is unfortunately another typecast role of his, in my opinion, since Taken. Even though he's not an assassin, he is an expert somewhat in survival. So the movie is about a group of oil miners who are on a plane crash in some very snowy area, probably the Alps or something like that. And there's a pack of wolves chasing them. It seems similar to The Edge, except you got more guys. They're just trying to survive in the wilderness, and Liam Neeson is the survival expert.
Right. He's leading this crew. They have to battle the elements and battle the hungry wolves who basically see the humans as intruders and also delicious food.
There are a few reasons to get excited about this movie, I think. Joe Carnahan, the writer-director, is from my hometown of Sacramento. He directed recently The A-Team, Smoking Aces, and Narc. I would say that about half of those movies are pretty good.
Half of the jury.
Yeah, half. I would say that The A-Team is about half of a good movie.
The A-Team has really grown on me and become one of my guilty pleasures. I'll never defend it as a great piece of film, but I think it's an awful lot of fun to watch, even with the excruciatingly stupid last 10 minutes.
Well, I think Joe Carnahan is only as good as how serious he wants to be. His best movie is Narc. And
very serious.
Incredibly gritty, incredibly gory. I absolutely loved it, and I was expecting something like that in Smoking Aces, but Smoking Aces to me was even sillier than The A-Team.
Yeah, Smoking Aces is a carnival freak show of a movie that's all gimmick and no real intelligence or plot, just a bunch of gimmicks. It is fun to watch, and there's also Smoking Aces 2, both of which are available at Go Video.
Joe Carnahan, he also helped write a movie called Pride and Glory starring Edward Norton and Colin Farrell, which is kind of a sleeper hit. I really love this movie. It's very underrated. Check it out at Go Video. Gavin O'Connor was the director of that movie, who also helped him write it. He recently made Warrior with Tom Hardy and Joel Edgerton McNulty, another one of my favorite movies this year. So Joe Carnahan, when he likes to play it serious, Narc and Pride and Glory, he does a great job. This movie looks gritty. It looks serious. I think it's going to be better than the other movie coming out in theaters, which is somewhat of a thriller as well. It's called Man on a Ledge, starring Sam Worthington, Elizabeth Banks, Jamie Bell, Ed Harris. Good cast. Yeah,
it's a solid cast. Sam Worthington getting a lot of work. He's been hot. He's been the it boy for the last couple of years. This is a more character-based thriller, though. He's also got Texas Killing Fields coming out in a couple of weeks, which is similarly sort of an edge-of-your-seat, gritty thriller.
Also, he did a little bit more of character acting in The Debt, that I believe is also available at Go Video.
Yes, absolutely.
And the thing about Sam Worthington is he's somebody that I'd kind of like to see branch into more diverse roles, because he's just going to become another action star, and then we're just going to get tired of him really quickly. But I actually enjoy Sam Worthington. I don't really have a reason why, but I like seeing him on screen.
I don't think he'll ever go above Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis is a great actor. He's one of my favorite action stars, but he'll never be known or for being a dramatic actor, and I don't think Sam Worthington will either. I think he'll always do a pretty good job in whatever he's in, but I don't think he'll make it as well into drama as he will in action. That's his comfortable area, like Jason Statham. And he may branch out a little bit, and it could be interesting, but I don't think he has the chops to be a real dramatic actor.
We've talked about a lot of movies in this first segment, and a great many of them are available at Go Video. If you want more information on the movies we talked about or where to find us, you can check us out online. GoVideoGainesville.com is our website. Send us an email directly at govideogainesville@gmail.com, and we'll respond to you. Or give us a call at the store at 240-6283.
That's 352 area code.
All right, we will be back to tackle some more topics in just a sec.
The new movie's out, I gotta see it. Where can I go when my pockets are tight? I don't wanna wait till it's delivered to my door, 'cause I know a place where I can get it tonight. Go, 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 go video. You can get a movie for $1 a day, and only $2.50 for the new Blu-ray. Go, 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 go video. And no memberships and no late fees, so you can watch your movie with incredible ease. Go, 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 go video. Great selection and no more waiting. The only place to go in your current location. Home to over 1,000 movies to choose from, Go Video is located in the Chevron on Millhopper and 43rd across from Publix on Hunter's Crossing. You can also visit our website at govideogainesville.com.